All right. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone in. Happy Friday. It is a beautiful, beautiful day here in Minnesota. We have the warmest weather we've had in a long time, and the sun is shining. Lots of wind whipping around, so I feel like the changes in the air. I mean, we can definitely feel it here, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, I'm sure you're feeling the shift in the other direction as well. But happy Pisces season also, which is part of the reason that I wanted to do the show today, which is because I am a Pisces as well. I'm a Pisces sun. My birthday was last Sunday on March 9th. And I thought that this would be a fun show to talk a little bit about my energies and my experience with Pisces, as well as kind of dipping into a little bit of the past life ties and what I've seen in my own life and my own experiences with a regression, as well as some of what I understand around astrology, birth planning, soul planning. So going to be a little bit more informal today, or not that I'm ever all that formal, but we're going with the flow, which is very Pisces season, right? Go with the flow. And we'll see where that leads us. See y'all popping in. Hello, Corbin. So good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Emma, great to see you as well. Hello, hello, Carl. So good to see you too. Thanks for popping in. I am looking forward to this chat as well, Emma. I think it's going to be fun. Oh, hey, Ken. Good to see you too. Thanks so much for coming. Before we dive into things, of course, the classic, check out my website, y'all. I've got my practice information. So if you want to know more about my hypnosis services, more about higher guidance hypnosis, future life progression, quantum healing hypnosis, whatever you're looking to get some more info on, it is here on my site. And of course, you can also go to my bookings here. I'll bring you on over to my Setmore, and you'll be able to see one-on-one sessions there. You can book the free preliminary consultation. So that's 30 minutes free, where we talk about what you're looking to get out of hypnosis, any questions you might have, or determining what is going to be the best path forward for you. And I also do have group workshops on here. I don't have any quite on the books yet, but we just got done with my group past life regression workshop last weekend, which was just so wonderful. It was just a beautiful time, and I got such wonderful feedback from folks. It was a really great experience, and so definitely planning on offering more of those group workshops. I'm interested in bringing people not only to the past but to the future as well. So more to come on that, still ruminating on different ideas, and so keep your eyes on that space for more. And then also make sure tonight that you don't miss me on the Galactic Show over on the Mason Jupiter channel. We are diving into the session that Solrita and I had recently, and Solrita's been so generous in looking to share her hypnosis session experience and some of the insights and information that came through that session. And so she invited me on to the Galactic Show, so we'll be chatting later tonight around that, and I think it's going to be a really fun show. So don't make sure you don't miss that one either. All right. So good to see you too, Britt Merritt. Welcome. So good to see you. Thank you so much, Emma. Yes, Emma was there with us, saying the last workshop was awesome. I had such a wonderful time leading the group through that experience, and it really is fun to be able to bring a group together and do that. I love working one-on-one with folks and with clients, but the group experience is different, and I think it's really fun. So if you are curious about my process, if you're curious about hypnosis, if you're interested in past lives or the future, whatever it might be, definitely check those future workshops out. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about Pisces. So those of you who are watching this show probably have a little bit of a knowledge around astrology and the systems there. And definitely as a sun sign Pisces, this is the sign that I definitely have associated with the longest. I feel like once you start diving into astrology a little bit more and you start to understand more of your moon, more of your rising, understanding more of the aspects of the different planets. And there's so much to that system. It's such a rich system of knowledge and information and understanding that I think the deeper you get, the more you realize there's more to dig into. But I think that as a sun Pisces, I've definitely associated with the Pisces archetype. And it's really been interesting in my life. I've attracted a lot of Pisces into my sphere. The most obvious, Corbin, my husband, is a Pisces as well. And beyond that, I have a twin who obviously is a Pisces too. My younger brother is a Pisces. He was born the day after me. On a different year, obviously, not that quick of a turnaround. I've had so many friends, coworkers who have been Pisces. It's definitely been very much an archetype that I've had a lot of experience with, and that I've definitely known personally, but then also from those relationships and those people in my life, where I get to see other iterations and other expressions of the astrology of Pisces, the themes of Pisces. I think that definitely in my younger years, I struggled a lot with depression and with mental health stuff, which Pisces is often associated with. More of those deeper underneath feelings, emotions. It really is associated with emotions in general, and I definitely have found that in my life. Uh, the empathetic experiences that I've had, where I have picked up on others' emotions or others' feelings and experiences before they've necessarily expressed them out loud or verbalized them. I definitely have had lots of those experiences throughout my life where I'm tuned in and I'm tapped into something beyond the physical. And I think most Pisces would agree to that statement in some way, shape, or form. Definitely, like I said, the deeper you get into astrology, the more you understand about like your moon and your rising and the other planets and rulership and more of the nitty gritty stuff of astrology. You start to see how it really is much more complex and nuanced than previously you might have thought. And just keeping an eye on the chat. Yes, Emma, my south node is Pisces and Vertex. Fascinating. I definitely think that the Pisces archetype can definitely show up in a lot of different places. And I think too with Pisces, I've seen where Pisces has almost, it's the last sign in the zodiac, so you can see how a lot of the other signs show up in Pisces. There's almost like little nods back to each of the other signs, and I think it's fascinating to look at from that kind of order perspective, understanding that Pisces is kind of the culmination of the zodiac too. And so there's a lot that goes into that. But other Pisces themes that have really resonated in my life is spirituality. And so when I was younger, if you saw my awakening journey and sharing about kind of my journey up until this point, I had I spent most of my younger years in the established church, in the Christian church. And once I left that, it kind of left this hole in my life that then I eventually found my way back to my own form of spirituality and reconnecting back to the divine and to the cosmos in a way that worked for me and that resonated for me. But yeah, spirituality has been another one of those themes of Pisces that's really resonated in my life. And I think that looking at your astrology and understanding your astrology is such a cool piece of understanding your existence and understanding your being, understanding your soul's journey too, and your soul's intentions for this incarnation. And so, one of the books that really impacted me and really had an eye-opening experience for me was the book. It's called The Soul's Plan. It's by Robert Schwartz, and it's a really great tool and or a resource, I suppose, for understanding how we as souls plan our incarnations before we come in. And I bring this book up because he did a lot of that work of kind of researching and understanding some more bigger ideas and bigger themes that people go through in life, and understanding how these individuals planned this before they came in. But I think too, he worked with mediums and really tapped into what did those scenes look like? What did that pre-birth planning meeting look like, and how did it play out? And he saw a lot where people were planning with their guides, planning with other souls, the the incarnation that they're about to go into, and the experiences that they were planning on having, the lessons they were planning on learning, the karma that they wanted to wrap up from other lifetimes. And I think that this is really fascinating because it ties into the astrology. Um, Yes, right, Emma? I totally agree. I've only scratched the surface of my birth chart, but it certainly makes more sense than anything else I've been led to believe. Absolutely. And I think that that's one of the really cool things about astrology. The more that you learn about it, it really does resonate in a unique way. And I think it's one of those tools that helps to connect the dots in this world that we live in, where we're trying to remember our way back to the truth, and we're trying to remember our way back to our unity with the universe, with cosmos, with God, with source. And I think that our birth chart is a piece of that. And I'll share more in a moment here. Yes, right. I see Britt Merritt and Corbin talking about the moon last night. I know, wasn't it so beautiful? I fell asleep around midnight, so I didn't quite make it to the actual eclipse here. Corbin did get to see the red moon, but I definitely saw the moon as it was rising, and it was just so beautiful. And we were lucky enough not to have clouds. I know a lot of places had storms and such that prevented them from seeing, um, but in regards to birth chart and in regards to soul planning, I think that the astrology is something that fits into this puzzle of pre-birth planning, and uh, in the ways that it really is that blueprint of your incarnation. And we, from our perspective, our human perspective here, we can look at that and understand some of what we've been through in life, some of what we are going to go through. It can help us to understand, more of these day-to-day occurrences, but understanding too that this is a tool that is open to the spirit realms as well. It's not something that just us humans have access to. It's something that we got from somewhere else. And so uh, I think it's fascinating to think about the ways that our souls, our oversouls, our guides, we, before we come into our incarnation, we're planning all of the happenings that are going to go on. We're planning the experiences, we're planning the lessons, and then all of that lines up in our birth chart. All of that shows up, and that stamp of like, this is the sky when you were born. Like, everything fits into that. And it's just, I mean, it's beyond what we can really wrap our heads around, I think, from our human perspective here, uh in the sense of like the ways that all works together, and the ways that we as oversouls understood all of that and understood how it was going to play out. And again, whenever we're talking about this sort of thing, I always like to remind people that it's not about predestination. It's not about, your life being scripted and planned out, and from a like deterministic standpoint, or from a you're forced to do this, and you have no choice in the matter. This is about you planning it from that soul level, and it's about you as a personality, as a consciousness, working with that oversoul, working with that higher self, working with your guides, working with the other souls that you're here with, to then create the beautiful expression of source and of life force that is your incarnation, that is your existence in the cosmos. And so I just think it's such a fascinating thing to think about. and understand the ways that, beyond beyond the incarnation, beyond the ways that we as humans use astrology, there is the astrological piece to that soul planning, and it's just really really fascinating. Yeah, I like that, Emma. Like a forecast that can blend into 3D life. Oh, and can I see that it was raining there for you? Or maybe it's raining now. Was it raining last night too? I know that my family out in California, they had rain last night, and so they weren't able to see the eclipse themselves. But I think too, what I wanted to oh my gosh, guys, I'm looking at them right now as I'm here. But I wanted to bring some crystals as well, some Pisces crystals to the show today. And um I of course I couldn't help but bring my beautiful uh labradorite sphere, and I'll try to turn it a little bit so you guys can get some of that shimmer, so you can see it hopefully. Oh yeah, there we go. You see that? Oh, it's just so, so, so beautiful. I mean, I sat the other day and just like stared at this orb for a good 10 minutes because it's just so, so cool. I can really feel the energy of the crystal, and I mean, even with smaller crystals, I can feel their energy, their vibes, their frequency. But especially with big beautiful crystals like this, I just feel like they have such strong personality. They have such energy, right? Isn't she, Emma? I agree. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, really a beautiful crystal. And when I saw it, I couldn't not go home with it. And maybe it's because it's Pisces season, and Labradorite is very much a Piscean crystal. And I think that it just spoke to me in that moment when we were at the crystal shop. So this is a recent friend that has moved in with us, and I'm going to toy around with some, not toy around, but I'm going to experiment and get into scrying a little bit with this crystal ball, because I've been inspired by some others that I've seen doing the scrying in the crystal balls, and I'm just fascinated to delve into that world. So brought Labradorite, and I also brought this beautiful little amethyst palm stone. I feel like it's a really pretty one for sure. And amethyst is another one that we could talk about with Pisces too. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Brett Merritt, isn't it? And yes, a solar return friend. Absolutely. I feel like it is it's never a wrong time to bring home a new crystal friend, but I especially think that birthday season is the time to bring. So I wanted to show off my crystal friends that came with me for the show, and in typical Pisces fashion, I'm going out of order. I was going to show them at the beginning, but here we are, going with the flow and and showing them now. So um yeah, so like I was saying, birth chart and this blueprint for your soul, and this blueprint for your incarnation, I should say. And I just think it's fascinating to look at your astrology and understanding the ways that that moment when you were born, that exact moment was the perfect moment for your soul to come through, because it spoke to everything that you were planning on doing in your incarnation. And I think it really is beyond our full comprehension from like a logical standpoint, or from more of that, you really gotta soften your brain, as I say. You gotta soften your brain to think about something that vast and deep, and it really is fun. Oh, absolutely, Bremer. It is my pleasure. I definitely feel like I should be sharing more crystal friends, because I love when I get to see other people's crystals and to be able to tap into their energy. And I just think that crystals are just such a beautiful, yeah, just a beautiful energy. So gonna try to be bringing more of my crystal friends along with me for these shows because I have them. I have them all around me. I'm wearing them. I've got them on my necklace, but um, you know, giving them the spotlight, showing them off. So um, that was fun. That was fun. All right. So the other piece that I wanted to talk about with astrology and soul planning and really bringing in kind of the past life connection as well, because this is something that is still kind of a loose. It's a little more of a loose theory in my mind. It's something that really resonates as true for me, and so that's why I'm sharing it. But I don't necessarily have like extensive research or documentation for this phenomenon. But I definitely have seen in my own life. I've seen it with a few of the clients that I know their astrology. Um, yes, right, Ken. We love the crystals. Oh, hello. Hello to Charlotte and Hannah. Aries and Virgo. Yes, Aries and Virgo. Oh, hello, Beth. Never late, just on time. So great to see you. Thanks so much for coming. So I think that one of the things that I've noticed, especially with my own experiences delving into past life regression, having sessions of my own, starting to look into my own past lives, is some of the themes that I noticed in past lives that really tied through to my current life, and really, I think, illustrate the ways that our lifetimes are connected through the quantum by these themes and these lessons and these experiences, because it's all frequency and it's all about resonance. And when we're thinking about the multiverse as it's laid out, when we're thinking about all of our different incarnations and different soul expressions throughout the cosmos, the past lives, the future lives, the parallel lives, these are all theoretically happening at the same time. These are all going on at the same time, all right now. And so when you think about it in that sense, the ones that are closer to you, and we're talking about this in a physical sense when it's not a physical thing, but I think it helps us to conceptualize. But when we're thinking about how the lifetimes and the incarnations that are closer to us, they are going to be the ones that are closer in resonance, closer in frequency to our experiences. And that includes some of the lessons that we might be learning, some of the experiences or relationships that we're having in these different incarnations. And I think that when we tap into those, we're able to, because of their proximity, because of their relationship to our current incarnation. And when I'm working with clients, when I'm in my practice, and I'm guiding a client, we're working with their higher self, and we're asking for the most appropriate lifetime. We are asking for, what is going to be that experience that's going to be the most useful for them. And with that, we always tap into something that ties into their current life, their current problems, the questions that they came with. Uh, and sometimes it's a very direct, very obvious connection, and other times it's a little more nuanced. Or I've had clients where we hop through a couple different lifetimes, and it's not just one lifetime that they see, it's a few different ones, and then there's this overarching theme. But I think that when we're talking about past lives, when we're talking about parallel lifetimes, these other incarnations, I think that there is resonance with our current lifetime. And I really think that I've been able to understand more about these lifetimes and these experiences that I've seen through the lens of my astrology, and understanding the themes and the archetypes of my current life astrology, what I'm going through in my current lifetime, and helping to understand that connection to my past lives. So that's a lot of theory. For example, for bringing in a concrete example, for me personally, I'm a Pisces. And so for me, healing work and this idea of helping others, of being of service, the stereotypical Pisces works in a hospital or they work in healthcare. My twin brother is a nurse, for example. There's these energies that really resonate with us, and I've seen in my current life, here I am doing hypnosis for folks. Here I am helping guide people through this alternative healing method that is about going deep. It's about really connecting in emotionally, not just physically. There's a lot of that healing energy in my current lifetime. And when I've gone back and I've looked at past lives of mine, I've had lifetimes as shamans, as medicine men, as a medicine woman, as healers. These themes of healing have come up in my past lifetimes. And so I think that is an interesting way of looking at our lives, looking at our incarnations, and understanding a little bit deeper uh, what it is that we are focused on in this lifetime. And I think that that's really important whenever you're talking about past life regression, and anytime you're talking about, you know, other lifetimes, other experiences. It's all well and great. It can be really really interesting, really fascinating, but I think that it's really something important to remember that our current lifetime is the one that's most important, because that's the one we're focused on at the present time. This is uh, it's all great to be exploring through time and space, and to be understanding, more of those past understandings, or going into the future and understanding more of the future. But it's really about, how does that tie into my current life? Uh, it's what's impacting this lifetime. What am I learning in this lifetime that's tied back to that? And that's where, understanding your astrology can, I think, help you to just have another way, another lens to look at um, this soul information from, and understanding, a deeper level of that soul expression, that soul growth. And, oh, I love that, Emma. Yes, thank you so much for that reminder too, because I was going to talk about that and I had forgotten. I think with Pisces South Node, I've been in that healing area in the past. Yes, and with South Node, this is definitely one of those points that astrologers will oftentimes talk about in relation to past lives. And I think that's a really fascinating thing to look at too, is understanding that point and understanding the archetypes of that sign, and then looking at some of your past lives and understanding through that lens too. It really is interesting, right? And I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm not an astrologer. I'm not a trained astrologer. I'm a certified hypnotist, and I definitely have more than a beginner's amount of astrological knowledge. But I am more curious in it, not necessarily a studied astrologer. Um, there are others in my life who are, but I think that it's definitely been one of those tools that has really resonated with me. Astrology has, and has really helped me to understand my being in a deeper way. And then, especially as I've delved into past lifetimes and understand more of my incarnations, it's been another tool that I've been able to, look at and understand things from. But yeah, the South Node is one of those points that, if you're looking for some past life information, that can be a good place to start, and then kind of using that either in meditation to ask for further information. There are definitely lots of regression meditations out there that you can find. I have a few meditations of my own, or you can come to a workshop and explore that way if you're not quite ready to have a session of your own to explore. But I think that I think it's just a fascinating tool to be able to look back on. So, all in all, I really think that the Pisces experience is an interesting place to be, and I'm saying that as a Pisces. And there are certainly interesting elements to all of the signs, and um, there's interesting nuance to any incarnation in any astrological sign. But I definitely have noticed in my life, Pisces is that last sign in the zodiac, and it is, sometimes people think about the astrological wheel as a path of incarnation. You start out at Aries and you work your way around to Pisces, and that's kind of your trip on the karmic wheel. And it's certainly not that cut and dry. I don't think that we have 12 lifetimes and then that's it. um, there's a lot of anecdotal proof that that's not true, but I think that it can still help you. Your astrology and your looking at your birth chart can help you to understand more of what you are here to understand and to work through, and um, to not only know about yourself, but understanding about the world and understanding about your relationships in the world, and your place in the world, and how you show up. And so Pisces is very much about endings, and it's about um dreams and dreamscape, and there's so many other words that go into that Pisces word salad. But I think that one of the things that I've definitely noticed is the ways that Pisces is more of a s- uh, internal sign. And I say that, understanding that not all Pisces are going to be introverted, not all Pisces are here to be self-focused. But I've definitely noticed the ways that in my life, through my evolution and my unfolding, that I was getting into trouble when I was too focused on the external and too out in the world, and not giving myself enough time to be alone, to be in those altered states, whether it be meditation or dream work, or just daydreaming. Right? Daydreaming is something that you don't often do when you're in a group of people, and so it's been something that I've learned throughout my life. And I think I've learned to value that alone time more, and has helped me to really, yeah, have a deeper understanding of my being. And this is certainly something that's still unfolding. And I think that that's one of the cool things about astrology, is that it really does just continue to unfold. And as you learn more, as you experience more, it starts to unfold. And you start to find deeper and deeper meaning. Sorry, I got uh, the speaking there, catching up on the chat. Oh, I love this, Corbin. You can also look at your south node line in astrocartography to see locations where you've been incarnated. Oh, that's a great point, Corbin. I love that. For those of you who don't know astrocartography, that's basically using astrology in like a geographical sense, understanding or looking at like the lines that your placements uh, are on the globe, or on the earth, and uh, can help you, I guess, to understand not only where maybe would be a good place to live, but it also can help you to understand those past life connections too. That's a great point, Corbin. I love it. And I see us talking about the crazy energies, being tired. I very much agree. It's been an interesting, energetic week. The eclipse is today. I mean, it was just a bit ago. We had it in the middle of the night last night, but I think that it's very much uh, strong energies. And I mean, like all eclipses, it will continue to unfold as we move along. Right? They say eclipses are like a six month window, give or take. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter. And I definitely think that we will continue to feel this eclipse season, this eclipse portal, throughout the next, half a year or so. Oh, I love that. Uluru, yes. That is on our bucket list of places to visit, is getting down there, getting to Australia, getting to Uluru. I think it's just such a fascinating place. And all right, I am going to remind you all once again that we have. I'm going to be on the Galactic Show tonight, in just a bit here, with the lovely Solrita, and we're going to be talking about Solrita's session and diving into some of the information that came through, some of the really wild session that we had. It was a great time. And then as well, make sure you guys don't forget that all of my information about my practice, my bookings are over on my website. And I do have in-person and remote sessions available. So definitely go check that out if you are interested in learning more, because I love this work. And obviously, I can't say everything about every bit of my practice on all the shows. So go check out my website if you want to know more. I am going to end a little bit early today because, like I said, I'm going to be on the Galactic Show a bit later, and I want to make sure that I have some time in between to decompress and bring all of that information to y'all in a bit. So I hope that you enjoyed this little Pisces chat. I've been toying with the idea of maybe doing some other astrology signs, bringing in some other perspectives, talking to some other signs out there around their experiences, any past life information they have. I just think that it's fascinating to look at the astrology in the past lives, and understanding some of those connections. And I'm certainly not the only person out there doing this work. I know Julia Balaz is someone who started in QHHT as well, so the quantum healing hypnosis technique, and she's gotten into more of the galactic astrology side of things and has really done some extensive research into birth charts and astrology, and more of the galactic connections and the past life connections that are beyond this earth plane. And so she's someone that I really think is doing great work, and really fascinating stuff with hypnosis and astrology. But anyway, I think that it would be, I think it might be fun to explore some other signs in this way. So stay tuned. Might do some of that. It depends too on if I can find the signs to talk to. But I think that if it is meant to be, it will be. So all of that to say that I'm sending you all of the love and the light. I hope that everyone had a good day today. And that the eclipse energies aren't rocking you too hard. Remember to ground, remember to get out into nature. I was able to go on a walk earlier this week and take my shoes off, take my socks off, and put my feet on a river rock. We were sitting on the edge of this little stream, and I was sitting on the rock, and I was able to put my bare feet on the rock. And I've missed that with winter. It's a little hard to go barefoot when it is freezing cold and snow on the ground. So it was just beautiful to get out there and ground, really connect with the earth, connect with the water there too. And I think it was so needed. So I definitely encourage you, if you're getting rocked by the astrology right now, go ground yourself, get out there in nature. Take your shoes off if you can. If you can't, hug a tree regardless. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And yes, right, Julia Balaz does have some great stuff. And oh, I love that part 2, Aquarius. That could be. I'm an Aquarius moon, so I definitely have a lot of the Aquarius energies as well. But so we'll see. We'll see what comes down the pipeline. Happy to share, Brett Merritt. And thank you, Emma, as always, for supporting me. Wait, what did you say, Corbin? Just as you say that, I can feel the energy, right? And that was the beautiful thing, is I could feel the rock itself, but I could also feel the stream through the rock. And it wasn't rushing so fast that it was like, huge waves or anything like that. I mean, this was just a gently flowing stream, but just feeling the energy through your feet, feeling the energy from the earth is. There's a reason that people talk about grounding and earthing so much, because it really is so important, and you don't always realize that you're missing it until you get out there and you do it, and then you're like, oh my gosh, yes, that was what I needed. I really needed that. So, oh, I know, I agree, Beth, I agree. Feel the earth is waking up too. Yes, and I think in a seasonal sense for sure, but I think in a broader sense too, we all know that the earth is coming along with us in this ascension process and in this growth and transformation that we're going through. I mean, the earth is here with us too. So yeah. All right. I love you all, sending you all the love and the light, and I really hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you all on Mason Jupiter later tonight. All right. Bye, everyone. See you later.